Hi, good morning, students. Today we are here to start our English classes. I will be taking English language for you. So let us straight away start with the first topic of our course this year, that is subject-verb agreements. Probably one of the easiest topic what we have here, and a topic which you have already studied in smaller classes. So now let us start with a small introduction about what is subject-verb agreements. Subject-verb agreement is nothing but making the verb agree with its subject in number and in person. So there should be an agreement between the number in the subject and or the person what is used with the number that is used in the verb. In simple words, if we are using singular subject, singular verb should be followed in the sentence. So when we speak about a number, that is singular or plural, you need to use the right version or the form of verb to make the agreement correct. That is subject-verb agreements in simple words. If we say, example, let's say, there are different forms for the verb be. We cannot just use any of those forms anywhere as we like. There are rules. For example, if I say, I am teaching, I use I am. And I didn't say I is teaching, because that is not the proper agreement. So we say that, so if we are using singular subject, there should be a singular verb. That is, in basic form, it is what is subject-verb agreements. So as we said, the forms of be, am, is, are, which are used differently depending on the subject, like he, she, it. So depending upon that one, the form changes. So we'll say, take it as the first rule. First rule, it says, singular subjects take singular verb and plural subject take plural verbs. So let us take one example. The list of to-dos was too long for me to handle. The list of to-dos were too long for me to handle. So I used here two sentences, both are alike. Only difference is, in the first sentence I said the list of, and in the second sentence I said the lists of. The subject, the list, that is singular, and therefore I did as the list of to-dos was too long for me to handle. The second sentence, the list of to-dos were too long for me to handle. So one is singular, the other one is plural. Since I used in the first sentence singular subject, singular verb was used. In the second sentence, plural subject is used, therefore plural verb is used. This is, in simple words, what is subject-verb agreements. Let us take another example for that. Even an animal has its own territory. I repeat the sentence. Even an animal has its own territory. I used the word animal. That is a subject in that sentence. So it is singular, and therefore I use the word has. Even an animal has its own territory. The second sentence I use, even animals have their own territory. The second place I use animals, and therefore the verb also changed from there. Whereas in the first sentence I used has, now I am using have, because the subject what I used here is plural, animals. Animals have their own territory. So we have noticed, depending upon the subject, the verb changes its form. Now since I used has and have, just let's go back to revision. Where do we use has and where do we use have? Have is used along with plural subjects and has is along with its singular subjects. Now when I say that one, there can be again problem coming. So let us make it very clearly. Has is used only along with third person singular, that is he, she, it. He has a pen, she has a pen, it has or it has done this work. Nowhere else we use this word has. I have, you have, we have, they have. That is the format what we are using. Therefore, has is used only along with third person singular. Okay, now since I said this one, let me take one exception to the rule as well. Now where do we see exception to this rule? That is along with you. What is that one? A plural verb is always required after you, even when it is used in singular, referring to one person. You were going to send over the documents. You were going to send over the document. Plural verb is used. You have done this work. Plural verb is used. Maybe that you is referring to a singular person. Still, plural form is used because it is said that along with you, only plural verbs are used. I hope that is clear to you. The first rule. What was the first rule? A singular subject takes singular verb. A plural subject takes a plural verb. I hope that is clear to you. Now we will move on to the second rule. Second rule, let us call it as, negatively we call it, it is an error. Error of proximity. Now error of proximity means the verb is made to agree in number with a noun near it instead of with its proper subject. So what is error? Error is the verb is made to agree in number with a noun near it instead of with its proper subject. Quite often we come across this mistake. Probably we may not have understood the real subject, or just we see just in front of the verb there is a noun that is looking plural in form, therefore we change into the plural verb. So that mistake is called error of proximity. So the rule says the verb has to agree only with its true main subject. If we agree with anything else, we make the error called error of proximity. Let's take one or two examples for that one. The box of Kit Kat's chocolates is missing. The box of Kit Kat's chocolates is missing. Now, the word is used just because the main subject, what we are saying is the box of Kit Kat's chocolates. The box. So that is missing. The box is singular. The knowledge of Indian vernaculars is far beyond the common. the knowledge of Indian vernaculars. So the main subject in this sentence is the knowledge, and that is singular, and therefore the verb has to be is. Suppose if I make the knowledge of Indian vernaculars are, just because vernaculars seems to be a plural form, and if I join that one with are, then we commit the error of proximity, because I tend to agree the verb with the noun that is near to it. Near to it is, that was vernaculars, that is plural, whereas the original subject given in the sentence is the knowledge. The knowledge of Indian vernaculars is far beyond the common. The results of the recognition of this fact are seen in the global improvement of the plight of the poor. Let's take the results of the recognition of this fact. This fact are seen in the gradual improvement of the plight of the poor. Now, how is that are is used there? This fact is the word which is just coming in front of that verb. But in the sentence, the results, what we are speaking about is the results. The results of the recognition of this fact are seen in the gradual improvement of the plight of the poor. So, if we make any other verb to do there, we commit the error of proximity. One more example, let's take it. The introduction of tea, coffee and other beverages has not been without some effect. The introduction of tea and coffee and other beverages has not been without some effect. Has not been. Why has is used here? Because the subject is the introduction of tea and coffee. Introduction. We are speaking about introduction of this. And therefore, has a singular verb is used along with it. So that was second rule. What was second rule? What we said here? The error of proximity, or we just said the verb has to agree with its proper subject and not a noun close to it. If we commit that one, we commit the error of proximity. So let us revise once again two rules what we have already said. First one was a singular subject takes singular verb, a plural subject takes a plural verb, and second one what we said was error of proximity, or a subject has to agree in number and person with its proper subject and not with a noun that is close to the verb. Okay, now we will move on to the next sentence or next rule. Let us take it. The third rule is subjects joined by and are usually plural and take a plural verbs. What is that? The subjects joined by and are usually plural and take a plural verb. His laptop and my iPad were stolen from the desk. This is a very common usage. Commonly we are using two singular subjects joined by and, it takes a plural verb. Chennai and Kolkata have very hot weather. Chennai is one noun. Kolkata, Chennai and Kolkata have very hot weather. So we have been speaking about subjects joined by and are usually plural and take plural verbs. His laptop and my iPad were stolen from desk. Chennai and Kolkata have very hot weather. Knowledge and wisdom have of times no connection. So these are examples what we said. So just two singular nouns joined by and, that takes a plural verb. But there is also some exception to these rules. Now exceptions are simple. If the subject has two singular nouns connected by and, if the noun suggests one idea to our mind or refer to the same person or thing, then the verb remains singular. So what is that one? If the subject has two singular nouns that are connected by and if the noun suggests one idea. So even though you have used two singular subjects there or two nouns there, but they refer or they bring a single idea to our mind, then we use singular verb. Or if it refers to a singular person or thing, then again we have to use a singular verb. So I will read the rule once again. If the subject has two singular nouns connected by and if the two nouns suggest one idea to our mind or refer to the same person or thing, then the verb remain singular. Example: my best friend and roommate is going to US for a vacation. My best friend and a roommate. My best friend and roommate is one and the same person, and therefore we use is going to US for a vacation. Soup and bread is our Sunday breakfast. So it brings one idea. So that together, or bread and butter, we generally, so commonly we use the term bread and butter. They are my staple food. Honor and glory is his reward. They are all considered, they bring to our mind just one idea. Time and tide waits for none. Singular form is used because it brings a single idea into our mind. Therefore, we say that if such ideas are used, we may have to use a singular verb along with it, even though two nouns are joined by and. When two subjects connected by and are preceded by each, every, or many, a singular verb is used. Again, that is another exception. When two subjects connected by and are preceded by each, every, or many, then a singular verb is used. Every chair, table, and sofa, every single piece of furniture in the house is up for auction. What is that? Every chair, table, and sofa, every single piece of furniture in the house is up for auction. So every. So if this is followed by and is followed by every chair, table, and sofa, every single piece of furniture in the house is up for auction. So that is exception what we said. When two subjects connected by and are repeatedly by are preceded by each, every, or many, then we use a singular verb. Every man and woman in the store is requested to go through the security check. Every man and woman in the store is requested to go through the security check. So there also, so we have noticed how it has worked. Now let's go to the next rule. Words like with, together with, along with, besides, as well as, including, in addition to, etc. I repeat, words like with, together with, along with, besides, as well as, including, in addition to, etc. are parenthetical. Therefore, the verb should be put in the singular form. So, if these words are used in the sentence, so naturally we have to use a singular verb. The television along with the cabinet is to be sold. So though we used about television, we spoke about cabinet, but still we have used a singular verb. The television along with the cabinet is to be sold. Our chief competitor as well as ourselves is obliged to increase the prices. We are obliged. Our chief competitor as well as ourselves. We have used both what is called our competitors, ourselves. Still we have used this word is obliged. So that is what, since we have used the word as well as. Another example, if we take the decoration of the room, including all the paintings on the walls, is most pleasing. So decoration, paintings. But since we have used the word including, we have used a singular verb. The decoration of the room, including all the paintings on the walls, is most pleasing. The house with its contents was sold. Silver as well as gold has fallen in price. So here we have used many sentences. Maybe let's say different type of words as we have already used in the rule: with, together with, along with, besides, as well as. We have used sentences, and we have seen that if these words are used in a sentence, we have to use a singular verb. So how many rules we have already said? We have already spoken 4 rules there. So we will move to the next one. When both singular and plural subjects are present. How do we present both singular and plural subjects? If the subject is made up of both singular and plural words connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, not only but also, then the verb agrees with the nearer part of the subject. So maybe let's say in the beginning we said about error of proximity when it is made to agree in number with the nearest noun to the verb, that we call it as error of proximity. Now here we may have to use somewhat similar way. So we said the verb is made to agree with nearer part of the subject. That is part of the subject, that is what is used in the second place. Neither the quality nor the prices have changed. So we spoke about quality and prices. The first is quality, singular. Second place we have used prices. Prices is naturally plural form, and therefore the verb is have. Neither the prices nor the quality has changed. We have just replaced that words. So what was used in the second place, that we put it in the first place, and just exchanging the order there. So naturally the verb form is also changed. So the first sentence I said neither the quality nor the prices have changed. The second sentence, neither the prices nor the quality has changed. So if in a sentence there are 2 different type of subjects, one is singular and other one is plural, so we are asked to agree verb with the nearer part of the subject. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, let's take one more example for that one. Neither the salesman nor the buyers are in favor of the system of management. Neither the salesman nor the buyers. The buyers, that is plural form, therefore we have used are. Neither the buyers nor the salesman is in favor if this is favor of the system of the management. So that is what we have said. Just replacing the order, the form of the verb also changes. So we need to keep in mind this. If the subject is made up of both singular and plural words connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, not only but also, then the verb agrees with the nearer part of the subject. Now we will move to the next rule. A rule for neither nor, either or. If the subject consists of two singular words connected by or, neither nor, either or, the subject is singular and requires a singular verb. So what is used here? If the subject consists of two singular words. In the previous rule what we said was one is singular, another one is plural. So two different numbers were used in the sentence, and if two different numbers are used, the subject has to agree with the verb. That is, the verb has to agree with the subject that is near to the verb. Now here, if both are of singular form, if the subject consists of two singular words connected by or, neither nor, either or, the subject is singular and requires a singular verb. Neither the laptop nor the phone was in working order. Neither the laptop nor the phone was in working order. So I spoke about laptop, spoke about phone, both are there, but still was is used because neither is used. You may recall the second rule what we said, first rule what we said, two singular subjects joined by and takes a plural verb we said. But here it is two singular subjects are used there, but they are connected by neither nor. Therefore, if neither nor is used, neither the laptop nor the phone was in working order. So here, if neither nor is used, we have to be sure that there has to be a singular verb. And also please keep in mind the number. If the subject consists of two singular words, both has to be singular. If one is singular and one is plural, then the verb has to agree with the subject nearer to it, and if both are singular, a singular verb has to be used. Either January or February is going to be her wedding month. Again, either January or February is going to be her wedding month. Okay, now let us move to the next rule. I think it is a seventh rule. Rules for nouns that are plural in form but singular in meaning. So there may be some words that looks plural but meaning may be singular. So let's see. Nouns that are plural in the form but singular in meaning, such as news, measles, mumps, physics, electronics, statistics, economics, and so on, usually take singular verb. So they just look like plural. They have got the S at the end. It sounds plural, but they are singular in their nature, and therefore they always take a singular verb. Example, news is traveling faster than ever before. News. We never use news as are. News are is never to be used, never heard. Therefore, news is traveling faster than ever before. Physics has fascinated my hostel mate for months. Physics, a subject that has fascinated someone. Or we may call some nouns ending in ICS, such as athletics, statistics, and politics, are considered singular when referring to an organized body of knowledge, and plural when referring to individual fact, qualities, or activities. So now the question arises, some words ending in ICS, it can be used both singular and plural form. So when it refers to singular, how it will be used, and when it is refers to plural, that different verb is used. So athletics provide good recreation. So the sentence what is used, athletics provide good recreation. So that is various games. So athletics provide means what form of verb have we used? Singular or plural? Athletics provide. So provide is singular, and therefore we say that since it is referring to various games, that is plural in form. Economics is an important subject. Economics, it is a subject, therefore it is singular, and therefore a singular verb is used. Economics is an important subject. Athletics provide, plural, and therefore plural verb is used. So we said words looking in form of plural but have a meaning, that is news, that has to be a singular verb. If the words convey the meaning of plural, then it will be plural. If it is singular, that is words ending with ICS conveying a singular meaning, singular verb will be there. Conveying a plural meaning, a plural verb has to be used. So we will move to the next rule, that is 8th. A rule for nouns that do not have singular forms. What is that? Rules for nouns that do not have singular forms. Plural verbs are required for many nouns that have no singular form, such as proceeds, goods, ashes, remains, credentials, premises, etc. What are the words? Words such as proceeds, goods, ashes, remains, credentials, premises, etc. These are words, they do not have a singular form. Whenever we use it in the plural form. The proceeds of the magic show are to be given to the fund for soldiers' welfare. The proceeds of the magic show are to be given, not is to be given, are to be given. So the plural verb is used there. The second sentence, the goods are being dispatched today by the goods train. The goods are. So when we speak about goods, we know what it is. The goods are being dispatched today by goods train. Now that is general rules with regards to subject-verb agreements that we have said. So if we just recall from the first sentence onwards, we have seen nearly 8 rules we have seen. So first we said about what is subject-verb agreements. Then we went on to the first rule, that was singular subject take singular verbs and plural subjects take plural verbs. Examples also we said then about what is called the exception, that is you has always, we said that along with you always we need to use a plural verb. And then when we proceeded to the second rule, that we said the verb has to agree only with the true main subject, otherwise we commit the error of proximity. We said what is error of proximity? The error of proximity is the verb is made to agree in number with a noun near it instead of with its proper subject. Then we proceeded from there and we said about subjects joined by and are usually plural and take a plural verb. So two singular subjects joined by and take a plural verb. Then there also we had such exceptions. Maybe there we said if they have got singular idea, two singular subjects joined by and, but they convey a single idea or a single person or a thing to our mind, then we said we use a singular verb. Then we proceeded from there and we said words like with, together with, along with, besides, as well as, including, in addition to, etc. They use or they take a singular verb. Then we said when both singular and plural subjects are present. So if the subject is made up of both singular and plural words connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, not only but also, then the verb agrees with nearer part of the subject. Then we said if the subject consists of two singular words connected by or, neither nor, either or, the subject singular and requires a singular verb. If both are singular, we take a singular verb. Then we said nouns that are plural in the form, they take singular verb. Then we said rules for nouns that do not have singular form. That was the last rule that we said. The proceeds of the magic show are to be given to the fund for the soldiers' welfare. The goods are being dispatched by the goods train. So we said these are some of the main rules of subject-verb agreements. I hope it is clear to you. Now we will move to subject-verb agreements for collective nouns. There is a difference from the general rules what we said. What is collective nouns? A collective noun is a word that represents a group of persons, animals or thing. So what is a collective noun? Is a word that represents a group of persons, animals or things. For example, audience, committee, company, council, army, police, society, board, department, cabinet, etc. So if these words are used, if collective nouns are used, or when we are speaking about collective nouns, then the following rules are observed. When a group acts as a unit, the verb should be singular. The first rule related to collective noun is, so when a group acts as a unit, the verb should be singular. Example, the committee has agreed to submit its report on Friday. What is that? The committee has agreed to submit its report on Friday. The committee. So it is taken as a group, therefore it is singular. Has agreed. The board of directors meets once in a month. Board of directors meets once in a month. Or the firm is one of the most reputed in the country. So all these things, they refer to group act as a single unit. They refer to a single unit, and therefore verb has to be a singular one. When the members of the group are thought of as acting separately, that's opposite of what we have seen in the first rule. So first it was acting as a single unit, and therefore we used a singular subject. Now we are speaking about acting as a, let us take the individuals of a group is taken. So when we are referring to the individuals of the group, even if it is a collective noun, we may have to use a plural verb. When the members of the group are thought of as acting separately, the verb should be plural. The teams are arguing over who should be the captain. The teams are arguing over who should be the captains. When we say about the teams are arguing, we are not speaking about different teams. The members of the team, individual members in the team, they are arguing, and therefore, but we are referring to the individual, not team as a group. Therefore, we say that the teams are arguing over the who should be the captain. The committee were not in agreement on the actions to be taken. The committee were not. That means there was disagreement among the members of the committee. The committee were not in agreement on the action to be taken. The audience were cheering and laughing, even crying. The audience were cheering. So each individual of the audience is taken there. So therefore the audience were cheering and laughing, even crying. So that is the second rule what we have said. So first we said if a group is taken as a single unit, we use a singular verb. If the individual members of the group is taken, then it is taken as a plural verb. Then we will move to the third rule. The company names may be either singular or plural according to their meaning. The plural form emphasizes the individual personnel making up the company. Mudra and Corporation have retained the goodwill of the customers. Mudra and Corporation have retained, that has got a plural meaning, so therefore have retained the goodwill of the customers. The Oil Corporation is located Nariman's Point, Mumbai. So we are speaking about Oil Corporation is located. So the next rule, for nouns expressing time, money or quantity. So when we are speaking about expressing time, money or quantity, when nouns expressing periods of time, amounts of money or quantities are considered as a singular unit, singular verbs are used. So when they are used as a singular unit, singular verbs are used. Rupees 100 seems too much for the job. So singular is used, seems. 3 months is too long a time to wait. 3 months is too long a time to wait. The number of board members is very small. and it goes on like that. So since when we are using that one, the number, the mathematical calculation, time, quantity, so there we use a singular verb. We'll move to the next rule. After such expressions as 1/2 of, 2/3 of, a part of, a majority of, so if these words are used, what will be the rule? Words such as expressions of 1/2 of, 2/3 of, a part of, a majority of, these words we use a singular verb if singular noun follows the of. What is that? We use a singular verb if singular noun follows of. A part of the office. A part of the office is closed. 2/3 of the mailing list has been typed. 2/3 of the mailing list. List is used, therefore has been. Has is used, singular. A majority of 3,500 indicates his popularity in the constituency. Then we use a plural verb when plural noun follows the of. So the usage is very clear. So if a singular noun follows the of, meaning after 1/2 of, 2/3 of, that of, after that a singular verb, singular subject follows, then we use a singular verb. If plural noun follows, a plural verb is used. Part of the walls are to be maintained. Part of the walls are to be painted. 2/3 of our workers live in suburbs. The majority of our staff members live in villages. So this, after that of, we see members. The majority of our staff members live. 2/3 of our workers live. So general rule follows that if after the of singular noun is there, then singular verb is used. If plural nouns are there, plural verb is used. The rules for the number. The expression the number has a singular meaning then requires a singular verb, whereas the expression a number has a plural meaning, it takes a plural verb. What is that? The number. When we use the word the number, if it is referring to a singular meaning, then requires a singular verb. If it refers to a plural verb, so it has to be a plural verb. The number of board members is very small. What is that? The number of board members is very small. Whereas in second sentence, a number of board members were absent. A number of board members were present. The number of orders is still to be executed is estimated at nearly 100. The number of orders is still to be executed is estimated at nearly 100. A number of our staff are going on leave. A number of our staff, plural is used, therefore are is used, are going on leave. So in sentences containing the words one of, the verb is chosen as follows. In simple form, one of or one of the, a singular verb is used. One of the reasons for his demotion is his carelessness. Now why do we use singular verb there. One of the reasons, there can be many reasons, among them one is his carelessness. So just one is taken. One of the pens is missing from my desk. Many pens were there and among them one is missing. Therefore we use a singular verb. And we'll move to the 8th rule. Singular nouns and plural verbs. Certain collective nouns, those who are singular in form, are always used in the plural sense and take a plural verb. For example, cattle, poultry, alphabets, offspring, etc. So these verbs, these subjects, they generally take a plural verb. These poultry are ready for sale. There are 26 alphabets in English. There are 26 alphabets in English. The cattle are grazing near the canal. Cattle are. So these are some of the basic rules that we need to follow when you are learning subject-verb agreements. Whenever we are writing, we need to follow these rules. I hope it is clear. Thank you.